Hari Om. So today we'll be seeing 25th and 26th names, Nirmalaayai Namah and Kalimala-haarinyai Namah, these two. Every day, most of us take shower, not all of us. Why? It's one reason is that when we go out and come back tired in the evening, before going to bed, most people here, they do take shower in the evening and then go to bed. But the Indian tradition is, in the beginning of the day, when you are setting out to the world, you must be fresh, not going to bed fresh. You take shower, and by the middle of the day, again, you feel tired, or not only mentally tired, but physical dirt. In Sanskrit, it is known as malam. Malam means dirt. So when there is no malam, it's called nirmala. There is no covering. That's why if you go to Guruvayur, at 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, there is a darshan. That darshan is called Nirmalyam. Meaning Bhagavan is not wearing anything on his body and it will be covered with chandan. Our own self is dirtless, blemishless, immaculate, pure. First dirt that we have is our own mind. Because if I have a shirt, and other than the shirt, anything is there, is called dirt. Right? Any stain, any kind of spilling. And when we take a soap and clean it, it goes away, again something else comes. So we keep on cleaning our body also every day. In places like Kerala, they do 2-3 times a day. Because this dirt comes because of the humidity and the dust, etc. So physical body's cleaning is easy by soap and detergent, whatever you use, shampoo. But mental dirt, interesting thing is nobody watches that. If physically our shirt is dirty, somebody will say, hey, that shirt is dirty, why don't you clean it? But mental dirt, mental impurities, we may put a makeup and make ourselves look beautiful and all. But mental beauty, emotional beauty, and we do not have, first victim is ourselves. So first thing that Bhagavad-Gita does is, indicates to us what are these mental dirts that are there. Because without removing that dirt of the mind, Bhagavad Darshan will not take place. And without the Bhagavad Darshan, true joy will not take place in our life. So therefore, there is nothing in this world which is always clean. There is nothing in this world which is always clean. Why? Because everything is constantly changing from one condition to another. Right? Our own body has gone through so many different changes over a period of many years. Every moment it is changing. Mind is also every moment it is changing. Sometimes angry, sometimes upset, sometimes jealous, sometimes greedy, sometimes passionate, sometimes lusty, sometimes deluded. So many such modifications continuously take place. From the time when you are young till the time now you are, so many things have gone through, your mind has gone through. So many people you hated, so many people you loved, so many people you did not want in your life. All these modifications are, from the highest standpoint, dirt. Because by nature, our soul, in its own original nature, is pure. It is said in one place, Akashado asti mala adi leparhita tattva lakshana shuddhata laukiki pratyagatmani cha asangatvadi prayukta tatviki. If you look at this sky, space, I have to talk to him about space. Space, is always dirtless, actually. Space cannot be polluted at all. We try to pollute. What we pollute only? The air, the water, the earth, everything we pollute. The space cannot be polluted. You know why? Because it is unattached. It is not connected to anything. Whatever is in space can be polluted. The space by itself can never be polluted. In the Upanishad, it is said that from the absolute truth, first expression of the truth is space. Tasmat va yetasmat akasha sambhutah. From that absolute truth, the creation began with space. So therefore, space representing the immaculate pure nature of the Paramatma. Then Akashat Vayuhu. From the Akasha, Vayu is created. That is one which gets polluted. Vayoho Agnihi, Agnehe Apaha, Adhya Prithvi, Prithivya Oshadayah, Oshadibhyonnam, Annat Purushaha, Purushonnarasamaya. Yeah, Purushaha is Annarasamaya, meaning full of dirt only. Because Annam means food, and imagine you take the food, well cooked, nice. After some time, as it goes inside, it becomes malam. Is it not? Once the energy is taken out or the essence is taken out of the food that we eat, then what happens? Malam. You have to get rid of it. So annam becomes malam. Malam means that which has to be thrown out of your body. So Vayuhu, Agnihi, Apaha, Prithvi, Oshadayaha, Annam, meaning air, fire, water, earth, vegetation, food. These are all, by degree, they are becoming more and more impure. What is that which is in this whole category? What is the absolute purity? I mean, at least in this category of matter, space. So the space represents the immaculate nature of Bhagavan. That's why Bhagavan Shiva, when you go to Chidambaram, if you go to this place called Chidambaram, Bhagavan is appearing as the absolute pure state. Chidambaram. Chid means consciousness, or Chid eva ambaram yasya. Chid, the Akasha is ambaram there. So the space of consciousness. And if you go there, and they will have an altar there, and it will be, a curtain will be there. And that is called Chidambara Rahasyam, the secret of Chidambara. So everybody goes and says, certain times only they open. And you go there and stand there, and then the priest would come and now have a darshan of Chidambara. Open, there will be nothing. Because Bhagavan is in the form of space. So Akasha in the creation is the absolute clean one. And it is because it has no sangha. Asangatvad. That's why it says Asangatvadi prayukta tatviki. Because the nature of anything which is subject to sangha, association with anything, gets dirty. Our mind also gets dirty when we are attached to something. Our all anger, lust, everything comes out of attachment to something. Mental impurities are because of wanting to own, wanting to possess, wanting to enjoy, wanting to hold it on to ourselves. So that's what making the mind pure. In the same way, Pratyagatma, the inner self, is always pure and it has no sangha with anything. That is why even Bhagavan Shiva, when it is prayed, it says Shuddha Spatika Sankasham Trinetram Panchavakrakam Gangadaram Dashabudam Nilagrivam. I mean, we Shashankam. And why it is said that? First is what? Shuddha Spatika Sankasham Trinetram. Shuddha Spatika means the Spatika, the crystal, is representing Bhagavan Shiva because crystal by nature is absolutely colorless. And anything you put, let us say I have a blue cloth on which I put this Spatika, it will start looking like blue. When you put it in a red cloth, it will start looking like red. It keeps on changing the colors. But if you take it out, away from everything, no color. Meaning, association alone colors our mind. Bhagavan is colorless. He has no impurity at all. So too, our Pratyagatma, the self within us, is absolutely clean, pure one. But when our mental impurities are there, desire, anger, lust, greed, jealousy, passion, all that, that keeps on polluting. That's why we like small children, because they are expression of that immaculateness, pure, because they do not have any expectation from anybody. They don't have many disappointment in their life at that stage, innocent stage where they don't like or dislike people. They won't demand anything from anybody. And they also do not have any ego clash with anyone. So at that stage of their life, they are pure. They represent that purity of Paramatma. But then, as they start going to school, as they start looking at their own brother or sister, as they listen to their parents, they become pure. From the pure, they become more and more impure. Because when they look at the parents, I'm also going to be like this only after some time. What to do? That's what they hear constantly. Fighting and then talking about this, talking. And then more pollution comes when they start watching the TV or going to the net and then playing games, and impurity starts and it never ends. So, now Bhagavad-Gita says, to remain pure, it does not mean you should not associate with anybody. That is not the way Bhagavan Krishna will teach. Because otherwise, you will have to go in some isolation where nobody is there. That is not the purpose of the teaching of Bhagavad-Gita. While you are in the midst of things, you can remain unpolluted. How is that possible? In Bhagavad-Gita, it is very clearly said, this state of being pure is called yoga. And in one place, Bhagavan Krishna very clearly says, yoga, the definition of yoga is, many definitions are there. Actually, samatvam yoga uchade, he says. Then, yoga karmasu kaushalam, he says. So there are many definitions of yoga. But one particular place, he says, dukkha sanyoga viyogam yoga iti uchate. What is yoga? Dukkha sanyoga viyogam. Disassociation with all association with sorrow. That is called yoga. Disassociation with all association with sorrow. No, sorrow does not mean that will make you unhappy. Sorrow means unpredictable. Because anything unpredictable eventually makes you unhappy. Is it right? So today I don't want it to rain, even it rains. Your own expectations can cause problems. So too, When I want others to behave in a particular way, they don't behave in that way. Cause problem. Is it not true? So anything that causes you sorrow, you understand them. You have to note that these are the things in this world which are unpredictable, which are changing, which is not under my control. I cannot help it. Then you mentally disassociate with that. Think, what are the things that you cannot predict? What are the things that which you cannot control? What are the things which are constantly changing? From that, mentally you disassociate. Physically, you cannot be away from anyone or anything, right? You have to go and work everywhere, and in your place or in your family or anywhere, you have to associate with people. You have to deal with people. You have to deal with their own idiosyncrasies and their own emotions, whatever not. But mentally, you realize that I do not need to give too much importance to these things in my mind. If I expect too much from these people, or if I am depending upon all these things, I cannot but suffer it. So that is why Bhagavan Krishna says in Gita that a person who has this knowledge, he works like anybody else, shoulder to shoulder with everyone. But in his mind, he is always cautious that I am not going to depend upon these people or situations for my happiness. In my mind, I am peaceful. I may associate for a particular work or whatever project, etc. But in my mind, I will not become a victim of any of the situations. This is how Bhagavad-Gita teaches how to remain Nirmala. Nirmalaayai, Namah. Think about Bhagavan Krishna himself. He was in the midst of crooks. Shakuni, Duryodhana, Dushasana, all the Kauravas, all sort of people. He knew that Karna, all these people, even in fact, persons like Dronacharya, he was a teacher, all right, but he associated with the wrong people. Bhishma, Pitamaha. Unfortunately, he was also part of the gang, but he never stayed away from them, knowing pretty well how to deal with them, how to handle the situation. He was cautioning Pandavas, be with them, but be aware of who they are. When Arjuna also got very agitated about situations, he said, that is how the world is going to be. So, do not overly depend upon any one of them, overly expect anything to change, overly expecting that you can control situations. No, that is not going to happen. So, this knowledge, this awareness, this understanding, this attention, that I am independent of this. My nature is peaceful, my nature is pure, my nature is immaculate. At the same time, while associating with the people, I make sure that I have enough security around me. I put a secure circle. That's why when you're doing the puja also, you do this. You know what that is? Before you do the puja, you actually invoke a security around you. Om Bhurbhuvaswaha. And you already put a circle around you saying that during the time when I am doing the puja, may not all other unwanted thoughts come into my mind. Similarly, when you go to any temple, then they do the ringing of the bell. You know what they say? You know the mantra when they chant that? Agamartam tu devanam, gamanartam tu rakshasam. May the devatas be invited through this sound, and the rakshasas by the sound get away. So if at that time during that linging, if people walk out, they are called Rakshasas. At the time of the linging, those people who walk in, they are called Devatas. So basically that is where they pay attention. So why do they do that during the time when they show Arati? Wherever your mind is, right? Leave all other things, now pay attention. Because the Devatas are invoked. Agamartam Devanam, Gamanartam to Rakshasam, Kurve Kantaravam Tatra Devada Kvanala Lakshanam, for the sake of inviting the Devatas. That's why in the ancient past, in many of the temples, all villages or the houses are all built around the temple. Why? Because that is the center point, and we often have to be reminding ourselves, he is the center. Bhagavan is the center. We are living in his place. And then we must keep our mind associated with him. I remember when, in village, and whenever I go to, whenever I was going to their village in Kerala, so the house, both rows of the houses are there, and the temple is right there. So at the time when the Arati takes place, everybody will come onto the street and they look at the Lord, and then then only they have food also. Why is that it was necessary? That we must remember, he is the center. We are at his home. It is his place. We are only residents of his home. We must recognize that. And then if we keep that in our mind all the time, that the Immaculate Lord is the center of our own being, all other agitations, expectations and disappointments and agitations that are going on in our mind are all the dirt. That is why when you go to a temple, when you are doing any puja, first of all, you clean the place. And you also offer only clean food. No doubt you take the fruits and other things. First of all, you wash it and then only offer to the Lord. Why? Because anything impure is not worthy of offering to them. If the Lord himself is in your own heart, your thoughts are impure, how will you even do that? Deho Devalaya Prokta. Jivo Bhuta Sanatana. This body is Bhagavan's Deva Alaya. Deho Devalaya Prokta. Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. Jiva is Sanatana. He is the Supreme Lord. So that is the reason why in Hindu tradition, when we meet each other, we don't touch and hug. Meaning, the pure Lord in you, to that Lord, my salutations. And that very Lord which is in you, worthy of worship, is the same Lord here also. There's no difference. Me and you are having the same Lord only. Our Gurudev would say, ours is the most clean way of greeting. Because we don't touch. And he used to say, when in Islamic tradition or something, they hug only to find out if he has a weapon or not. To make sure that he doesn't have any weapon in his body. So here we say, we don't touch each other. You are immaculate, pure by nature. And that to that Lord which is pure is my salutation. So that is a tradition. So many of our traditional beliefs are expressed in the form of action. And Bhagavan also very clearly says in Bhagavad-Gita, even if a person is, by whatever be the reason, has become sinner, abhiched suduracharaha bhajate mam ananyabhag sadureva samantavyaha samyak vyavasito hi saha. What it means? Even if a person, abhiched suduracharaha, is the most wanted criminal in this world. Achara is conduct. Durachara is bad conduct. Sudurachara, extremely wicked. Even if a person is extremely wicked. Abhiched sudurachara. Pachate mam ananyabhag. If he starts to recognize my presence in his own heart, he should be treated as a sadhu. Sadhu reva samantavya. Why? Samyak vyavasitaha saha. He has started to change. So anyone who has started turning towards the Lord within and recognizing his presence, even if he is the most wanted criminal, must be regarded as a sadhu. You know the story of even the Angulimala also. In the Buddhist tradition, they have that one dacoit was there, living in the forest and looting everybody who came on the way. And he used to, as a mark that he has already looted this person, he will cut the finger of that person and put it in his own ring. I mean, what do you call it? In his own mala. So he had a garland of fingers. A very terrible guy. So once Buddha was walking by in that same forest, and then he went to him and said, "Come on, whatever you have got, give me." He said, "Whatever I have got, if I have to give you, you may not be able to take it also." He said, "What do you mean by that? What do you have?" "I have nothing but peace. Can you take that?" No. What material things you have?" "Nothing. I don't carry anything." "No, you must be cheating. Let me check." And he checked him. There was nothing. But he said, what to do, even if I don't take anybody, but my practice is I will cut the finger. So I have to cut your finger. He said, "Why finger? Who take the whole body?" "Why you can stop at the finger? You can fill up your garland with the 10 fingers at a time. Take it." So this Sangli was quite surprised. He never had heard anybody who said, everybody would run away, right? He said, "Who is this person? He's not afraid of life. He's not afraid of being annihilated or body mutilated. And he owns nothing. He carries nothing. And he seems to be very peaceful and joyful. How can that be? Because in his mind, being a dacoit, without money, without this, I cannot be happy. And here is a person who has nothing and he is so happy." So he said, "Give me what you have." He became a disciple. That I will teach you what is that which you can discover in yourself, which will make you happy no matter what. You don't need to do all these things. So he became the disciple of Buddha. And Buddha initiated him to meditation. And he left his profession as a dacoit. He stopped everything. And he started to remain in isolation and started to meditate, etc. So obviously he has to survive. So the Buddhist tradition is go to few houses, ask for alms, and whatever they give, and you come and have it, and then live a very simple life. So he went to the village nearby. But the villagers came to recognize he's none other than that fellow dacoit who has been looting everybody. Now, what kind of a disguise he has come in now? So they have started to beat him. And they beat him in such a way that he was almost about to die. He didn't react at all. He didn't become violent, which was there before. He didn't become violent. So he took all the beatings and all the injuries, and he was lying down almost about to die. And somehow somebody sent a word to Buddha, and he came and he stood next to him and said, "This is what is called karma." You understand, even though you have changed, even though you have done a great transformation has happened to you, but karma will come to you for what you have done in the past. But because you have thus initiated yourself to the right way of living, and you have learned the wisdom from me, you will have a peaceful exit and you will not come back. That I bless you that. Then he left the body. So only to say, as Krishna would say here, sudurachara api. Even if he is a wicked person, samyak vyavasitaha yaha, one who has taken the course of becoming better or becoming divine, sadhureva samantavyaha. Such a person become a sadhu. So it happened with Valmiki, one who was a dacoit Ratnakara, and he was also looting the same way. He was also looting the people. At that very place, Naraji came, Narayana, Narayana. He came there. So he said, come on, whatever you have got, similar story. He said, I don't have anything. So what do you mean by you don't have anything? Yeah, I carry nothing. I take only now Bhagavan's name and move around. So, and then he turned around, Narada turned, but by the way, what do you do? He said, I'm doing all this, looting everybody. Why? He said, then I have to make my family survive. They have to survive because of the money that I earn here. Oh, but do you know one thing? That whatever you are doing as karma belong to you only, not to your wife, not to your husband, not to your children, not to your parents, I think. If you do anything, you have to experience the result of it. No, but I'm sharing with them. You can share only the wealth, not the karma. You cannot transfer. It is not. It's a non-transferable. Karma is non-transferable. You cannot give it to somebody. No, they will take it. Oh, go and ask them. So he went home and said, I'm doing all these things for you only. Will you take my karma? She said, wife said, if I want to also, I can't. So what can I do? He realized that what he is doing is, even though for others, but what he is doing is come back to him only. Then he came back and saluted to Narada and said, how do I redeem this? He said, only way to redeem redemption is Bhagavan's name. You take Bhagavan's name, then change yourself from this. So he started to take the name of the Lord, even in the ulta karke, Mara, 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 Mara. That way also. And then finally, he became the first and foremost poet of the world, Valmiki. So again, coming back to the point. So here, Bhagavan Krishna through Bhagavad-Gita says that it is not running away from situations or going away in isolation that your mind becomes pure, but taking the right decision. What is the decision? That my nature is peace. My nature is pure, clean. But mental impurities like anger, etc., lust, passion, etc., are those which are dirt in my mind. And while I am associating with people, may I not add more to it? When you talk to people, if people are talking about negative things, you are actually taking it in. And you have to digest that. Even when you are watching a TV and then some impure, unwanted things come, that also comes inside your head. And you have to deal with that. It's like if with the food that you are eating, which is not suitable to your body, obviously, once you have eaten, your stomach definitely will have to deal with that. That's why when we take Bhiksha, we do extra prayer. So that we don't know. And many people ask, how is the food? I'll tell you tomorrow. Because I don't know what happens in the stomach today. I will know only tomorrow what is the situation. Now, but while dealing with people also, again, two more dirt that adds up into our mind very, very subtly. And Bhagavad-Gita says, one is called, I am the doer idea. See, interesting thing is, not all our experiences in life become impressions. Not all that we do create vasanas. Vasanas are created by sense of doership or sense of enjoyership, kartrutva or bhoktrutva. The moment I have an idea that I am going to enjoy this, it creates an impression. Or I am the one who is doing it, it creates an impression. When there is no kartrutva or bhoktrutva, such an act or such an engagement does not leave impression in your mind. This is the beauty of it. In your daily life also, let us say today, morning till now, you might have come across so many people at work or anywhere. Do you remember all of them? You don't remember all the people whom you met today. If somebody had either scolded you or praised you or whatever, that particular alone will remain in your mind, right? That alone you will, or somebody who is very attractive, somebody whom you notice specifically, somebody who may pay attention, those things will remain as impressions. Wherever there is a enjoyership, wherever there is a doership, that leaves an impression. That's why Bhagavan says the mental impurity will be reduced if you do not have karta bhokta bhav. Do your best, he is the karta. Bhagavan is the Lord, is the doer. When you are enjoying also, he is the enjoyer. I am only a agent for action, not the owner of this action, nor the enjoyer of this action. This way, mental dirt also can be reduced. These are the methods Bhagavad-Gita teaches us about how to get rid of impurities in our mind. The next name that we are going to see is Kalimala-haarinyai Namah. Mala visa, Nirmala. Then what is that another Mala that is there? See, even if we are pure, the society, community around us is not going to be as you expected it to be. People are of different varieties, from different cultures, different faiths, different traditions, different, what do you call, belief system, values. They're all there around us. And that is what is called Kali. So, as you know, in Bhagavatam it is said, there are 14 Manvantaras. In the life of Brahma, there are 14 Manvantaras. And one lifetime of a Manu is called a Manvantara. One lifetime, and presently we are in the 7th Manvantara. It's called Swayambhuva Manu. So that's why when we are doing the puja, etc., we say that Vaivasvata, sorry, not Swayambhuva, Vaivasvata Manvantara. So that is our Manvantara right now. And each Manvantara has got 4 yugas. That is, first one is known as Satya, second one is known as Treta, third one is known as Dwapara, fourth one is known as Kali. In Satya Yuga, everybody is aware of what is Satya. Meaning, what is the absolute Purushartha or goal of life, which is moksha. To be free of bondage, to be free of the cycle of birth and death. Therefore, all of them are aware of Satyam. Therefore, it's called Satya Yuga. And because everybody is aware of what is moksha, their life in this world, they engage in always aware of what is dharma, what is the right thing to do. So they never deviated from dharma because dharma is the gateway to moksha. Dharma in the world, moksha in beyond. So that is why all of them were aware of what is the correct thing to do. And if anybody has given a promise, they will die to prove it or die to stand by it. That is the nature of people who lived in the Satya Yuga. But slowly, as the things will change, Dwapara Yuga, when he started, the priorities changed. What? That Dharma, Artha, Kama and Moksha. Right? These are all the 4 Purusharthas. When the moksha is considered as the highest goal of life, the dharma becomes the means. When the moksha is not the highest goal of life, then artha becomes the means. Artha means wealth, name, power, and rulership. Now, that is the reason why in the Rama avatar, if you look at the character of Ravana, or the character of Kaikeyi, whatever are they fighting for? Rulership. Is it not true? That I want the rulership, my son has to become ruler, not him. Similarly, Ravana had conquered all the 7 worlds, 14 worlds actually. And he wanted to even destroy Ram. But at the same time, Dasharatha, who is considered as one of the most great champion of Dharma, when he was told that you gave a promise, he stood by it. Satyavrataha. Why? Because according to Satya Yuga, nobody ever should compromise on the promise. That's what Kaikeyi says. You gave me a promise and you cannot say no to it. So they were so conscious. Nowadays we do a promissory note, we'll tear it out. When you gave me promise? When? I sent you email, I deleted it. So there is no question of even you get to keep in track of it. That's why we need all the security systems. Everybody is being watched for every action that you do. Everything is documented, everything is signed, everything is. Why it is so? Because person to person we don't believe. Even if you give promise, where is the proof? But in the case of Dasharatha, yes, I gave you a promise. I cannot deviate from it. I'll have to stick to it. Similarly, Rama, my father has given a promise. It is my duty to make sure that it happens. Look at all the characters. Bharata could have easily taken the kingdom. No, it meant for Rama. I will not touch it. How they were so conscious of Dharma. And in fact, even Ravana, I have to tell you, but Ravana had given the promise that he won't touch the woman unless she wants it. He was he is also a person of Satyam there. Promise. I have given a promise. I will not touch unless she allows it. Otherwise, she was under his capture. You could have easily molested her. He didn't do it. He was also aware of it. So all the people there, they were so aware of what is the right thing. And that then changed to next yoga. That is the Dwapara Yuga. Treta Yuga is I'm talking about this one, Ramavata. Treta Yuga is Dwapara Yuga is where people are more into Kama. Kama means what? Desire, ownership of things, possession, enjoyment, indulgence, luto, maro, and all that. So that's what Duryodhanadi Prakriti had. Even good people like Pandavas deviated from what is true. Is it not? You know the story. How, because of his desire, Dharma, that is Dharmaputra he was. But then he was so passionate about playing the game. He could have said no. But could he? He couldn't say that. Even good person like Dharma Putra, he could not stand by because of the nature of that particular yuga is like that. Now, there are many stories about that such kind of passion and lust and how everything had destroyed the society. Now comes Kali. Oh my God! So in Kali Yuga, the nature of Kali Yuga is dishonesty and cheating. It started from Shaguni, but then it had penetrated into, as soon as Krishna left the body here, Kali got in. He waited for that. Kali got in at that very point when Krishna left this place. This Kali Yuga is 432,000 years. We are in the very beginning only now. Yes. So many things to go. According to Bhagavatam, 432,000 years, human years, is the Kali Yuga. And sage Markandeya, according to Bhagavatam, had predicted what would be the condition of people in Kali Yuga. I will read out few of them only, which you will. Sage Markandeya in Bhagavatam has written, not today or yesterday, not looking at present situation. He wrote it at that time. Now I'll tell you how exactly he predicted. First one, everyone is going to be dishonest. Most of them. Charity will be only a show. It is not coming out of their heart or kindness or compassion. It will be only a show. Third, Brahmanas will never do their Brahmana karma. He had predicted that. And the healthy life of a human being will keep on reducing. Now we say that, oh, nowadays the longevity increased. Without medicine, they will die in 50. No, much less. Only medicines are keeping the people longer years. If you remove that with medicine and treatment and all, people will not live. With their own health of the body is constantly failing and it is reducing in number. Taste and smell in the fruits will not be there. Now you take that flower, put it inside your nose. You will not smell anything. It has become so fertilized, and all the artificial things are made to look like that flower, or even the fruits. I remember when I was growing up, when you go closer to the market, you get the smell of all the vegetables and flowers, etc. Now they put inside whenever you Costco, they put the water and then they put a bright color. No smell at all. Why? That is Kali. Women prefer cow's milk than their own milk for the children. Markandeya. Bhagavatam mein likha hua hai. Next, saints will do business. Sadhus will be doing business on the world, making money. This course $300, that course $500. 4 ashramas will never be followed. That is, brahmacharya ashrama, nobody follows brahmacharya in the ashrama. Then grahastha ashrama, nobody is at home. Vanaprastha, forget about it. They never go to the next stage at all. Sannyasa, that is very rare. Serious climate changes will be imminent. When it is supposed to rain, it won't rain. When it is not to rain, it will pour down. During the winter, you will have hot weather. All this, they're totally a chaos. That is the nature of Kali. Girls, even aged 7 or 8 years, will get pregnant. And even boys with the 7 or 8-year-old, they become fathers. Youth will get gray hair at the age of 20, 25 because of the nature of the living, the kind of living and the kind of chemicals that they use, the kind of food that they eat, unhealthy situation. And people in large number will die out of hunger. And many of them, I just only chose few of them. Think about it. That is Kali, unpredictable situations, and people are totally deviated from their own duties of life. And Dharma Paripalan will not be there. People will be doing whatever comes on the way, not in connection with their own guna and karma or ashrama. They would not follow that at all. In other words, we create our own pathways to hell. Gurudev used to say, hell is not a place, hell is a state of your mind. He always said that hell is not some place to go. When you take the phone, what do you say? Hell, oh. So not that, oh, hell. He's calling the other person as hell only. Hello. So we are living in hell. And we may think that, what do you say? What are you saying? Living in hell. Bhagavan Krishna says in Gita, Trividam naragasyedam dwaram nashanam atmanah kama krodascha lobascha tasmat etatrayam tyajet. There are 3 gateways to hell. Trividam naragasya idam dwaram. There are 3 doorways to hell. Na atmanaha nashanam, it destroys you. Kama, Krodha, Lobha. Desire, anger, greed. These are the three gateways to hell. If you have even one of them, you are in hell. Because a desire can make you do things which you don't even expect yourself to do it. You can see all the criminalities that is going on. Or anger, or greed. And this, LA as well as in San Francisco, you can loot up to $999.99. You will not be punished. Can you believe that? No, you think about it. Anybody can walk into anybody's shop, loot up to $999.99. Take it away. The police will not come. Police will not come to arrest that person. Now think about it. How we are giving ways to people to become criminals. This is what is called hell. Hell means what? Nobody has any control over anybody. You can do anything. Nobody will catch you. And this person can do next day also. Today he will take 9, tomorrow he will come back. It's not one day. You can do anytime you want. Nobody keeps track of it. Think. Kamaha, Krodha, Lobha. So therefore, Kali is working in everybody's mind because it is not external physical form of Kali. It is only in the mind of our own, which is in the form of intense desire, insatiable desire, uncontrollable anger, and indefinite or infinite greed. Endless greed. Greed for money, greed for power, greed for many things, in this name and fame in this world. And you can see how the present day leaders are, even though there are 30 or 34, I think 35 criminal offenses you have, still you have the ability to say, I'm going to be the president of this country. How it is, how dare a person would, and people accept it. What do you think of that? How that is possible? Think about it. Destruction of a mass scale. 16,000, 17,000 people within a month are destroyed by weapons. What is that? Is it hell or heaven? We are apparently living in a much safer place that we don't realize this. But if you see how in the other part of the world people are killed for no reason of their own mistakes, people are dying of hunger, destroyed by bombs. Where are we progressing to what? We are human progress towards what? And progression means you must be more safe, more happy, more peaceful. But just the opposite is happening. So Bhagavan Krishna says, Asankalpa Jayet Kamam. Only way to come out of the Kama is Asankalpa Jayet Kamam Krodam Sangha Kama Vivarjanat. Only way to overcome Kama is by leaving the notion of happiness over things and beings, meaning as I said earlier also, dependence on the external things for your own happiness is what causes the desire. Asankalpa, by removing this notion that I can be happy only with this, or when I achieve that, or when I go there, this kind of a notional happiness, when you remove, that is the only way to overcome desire. And only when desire is gone, anger will go. Anger's mother is desire. What you don't desire does not cause you anger. If your neighbor's son is not studying well, are you bothered? My son, then that attachment alone causes the anger. Oh, what are you not doing? You don't do that to your neighbor. Why? I don't care. So where there is anger, where there is desire, there is anger. What I desire, if I don't get it, I get angry. What I don't desire, if somebody takes it away, take away, who cares? I have no desire about this, isn't it? And desire alone is the cause of anger. Therefore, kama vivarjanat krodam jayet. Atma samstuštya jayet lobam. By only inherent or inward satisfaction, Atma Santushtya, by the self-satisfaction, contentment alone, you can win over Lobha. Do not compare yourself with another person. What you need, you understand that, only that you work on. If you say, I want to be like that person, I like that person, there's no end. That is greed. Atma Santushtya Jayet Lobam. Prayatna Deva, by the effort alone, it has to be done by the sadhakas. Prayatna Deva Sadhakaihi. Only by putting forth your self-effort alone, we can overcome the effects of Kali. It will be around you all the time. Because in general, we are thinking, let the world become better, I will become better. Never happen. Gurudev used to say, you change, the world around you will change. Don't wait for the world to change for you to change. You cannot go to a liquor shop or a bar and expect everybody to stop drinking for you to stop drinking. You don't need to go there. You stop drinking, and then you will have no drunkard will be around you. If you have decided, then the environment, the world, the society, community which you live will change. If you expect the world to change and then I change, that will never happen. So, Kalimala-haarinyai Namah, the one who is destroyer of the dirt called Kali. That is also Bhagavad-Gita gives us the means to overcome that. This way, Nirmalaayai Namah and Kalimala-haarinyai Namah. These two names we saw today. And so many such beautiful ideas are there in Bhagavad-Gita for us to contemplate, reflect, emulate, follow. Then our life will become more and more purposeful, beautiful, joyful, peaceful. And when we are joyful, peaceful, and purposeful, people around us also will benefit out of our existence. If we are constantly crying and complaining and unhappy, who wants us then? Who would be peaceful with us? So let us make the change in ourselves. That is what Gita again and again would point out. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kasyid dukkhavat bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namah. Harihi Om.